move was banned from figure skating competitions in 1976.
So where did Sarah Bonley enter?
Well, she enters the scene in around the late 80s to the mid 90s, because that's roughly when her competitive peak was, and she competed at 3 subsequent Olympic Games, as well as, figure skating competitions all over the world. And in specific regards to the Olympics, while she never placed, she was always seen as one of the contenders, because of just her sheer physicality and the fact that she was so gifted on the ice. And in specific regards to the backflip, she is noted as being one of the few people on the ice in the era that she competed who could do it consistently, which is a bit annoying because you weren't allowed to do it in competition.
So I can see doing a backflip is quite an impressive move for her.
Yes.
But how can it intimidate other athletes on the ice?
Yeah, especially at the Olympic level. Well, let's set the scene and go back to 1992. And during the practice sessions for the Winter Olympics that year, Surya Bonley just started doing backflips. Just because she could, as part of her training routine. It's you can't do it on the ice during competition, but there's nothing stopping her from doing it during practice. And it's noted that almost as soon as she started backflipping on the ice, an Olympic official came over and said, "You've got to stop that right now. Stop doing that." And ostensibly they told her to stop doing it because it's it's an illegal moving competition, but remember, this is practice. And it later turned out that the reason they did it is because other people on the ice, and particularly their trainers, were complaining because she kept doing the backflip next to other competitors, which they saw as intimidation. Yeah, my guy does not want to go on the ice when she's out there, because she's just showing everybody up, because they're going out there and just doing a sow cow or something. She's boom, perfect backflip. Surya Bonley, for the record, was not doing it to intimidate other people. She did it as part of her practice and warm up, but it didn't stop people from seeing it that way. And the thing that cracks me up is, I fully believe that if Olympic officials had not stopped doing this, she'd have just done a spirit bomb, doing a training routine. So it just looks where is Surya? Oh, she's just up there charging a spirit bomb, just above the ice like this. It's oh man, that is pretty intimidating.
Did she actually do a flip on the ice during a competition?
She did. Once, because she knew she was going to lose. We're going to set the scene now. It's 1998, it's the Winter Olympics once again, and Bonley is competing, and she's very unfortunately suffered an injury to her Achilles tendon. So basically the ankle, the place where you put all your weight during figure skating. And she is in 6th place with one more chance to go out on the ice to impress the judges. She knows that she's lost. There is no performance she can do good enough to help her place. What she did is she went onto the ice, remember, with an injured ankle, did her routine, and then instead of I think the final thing she wanted, which I think was triple sow cow or something like that, did a perfect backwards backflip and landed on one foot.
I'm assuming because the move was illegal,
yes,
she was penalised for it.
Yes, very heavily, and she didn't place, but she wasn't going to place anyway, so she didn't really care. But just for a moment, think about it, because a single-footed backflip onto one leg has never been performed in an Olympic event since or prior. Meaning she's the only person in the history of the sport to have performed that move in competition. Just think for a moment that she performed a move that has never been equalled, never been topped, never been attempted, and she lost. And that's what she wanted to do. She thought, fuck it, I'm retiring after this anyway, I'm going to go out with a bang. So she went out and did the most difficult move in her entire repertoire, a move she knew nobody else in that competition would dare attempt, could let alone pull up. And while the judges penalised her for it, what the crowd saw was the most spectacular display of athleticism ever seen in a figure skating competition. And we should probably address at this point that there's a bit of misinformation about this story. And one version of it says that Bonley was banned from doing a backflip, or told not to do one, because she was the only person in the world who could do it, and it was embarrassing other figure skaters. And that's obviously not the case. The backflip was banned for everybody, and it had been since 1976. But there is some truth to that story, specifically the part that it was embarrassing other figure skaters.
It seems unfair, but at least she's now known, she's remembered as a legend.
On one